Hello and thank you so much for clicking and for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, why not subscribe, leave a like, and of course leave any thoughts, comments and feedback that you have on this or any of the other videos. But just finished watching the game between Tottenham and Southampton. It's finished Spurs 2, Southampton 1. Huge win for Spurs, another defeat for Southampton. And where does this leave both teams now? I thought at half time, the way Southampton played in the first half, I did think, is this a turning point? Obviously, based on the result, it's not been a turning point. And based on that first half performance, I couldn't see a way back for Spurs. I thought Spurs were slow. I thought they lacked any kind of energy, and I just didn't really see any way back for them. I thought Gareth Bale was lively in moments, but he's had sort of a strange sort of season. You thought when he came back at the beginning of the season, when Mourinho brought him back, you thought he's going to be the catalyst for a lot of good this season for Spurs, but he's not played a lot of games, and in the games that I have seen him play, he hasn't had a great impact. But I thought there were moments in that first half where he was okay. I thought Son looked a little bit off it in the first half. I thought they looked really low on confidence, as they have done in a lot of games over the last few months. But they probably deserved it. Probably deserved the 3 points based on that second half performance. And Southampton, I think the game turned when Danny Ings went off. Thought they were really good in that first half. They should have had 3 or 4 in the first half. There was a chance that Shea Adams had, and how he didn't score, I do not know. I don't know. He hit it perfectly. I don't know from the how close he was. He should have put that in the back of the net. But they went on, got the goal, and Southampton really good in the first half. But they dropped off in the second half, and I thought Spurs sort of came onto them. Sort of didn't really. I don't say they like peppered the Southampton goal. I thought they had the moments, but overall, I thought that the quality sort of showed in the end, and they probably deserved that win. But um, it was strange, to just be, because I watched the last couple of games that I watched before, before this game tonight. We were sort of in the midst of the. We're still in the midst of it, but it sort of feels like the aftermath now. But the whole thing with the Super League was going on, and then the Liverpool game the other night, it kind of felt like, well, I'm not, I don't even know what to think of this. Like, what does any of it matter? What does it matter if Liverpool make the top four or drop points or any of that stuff? Because is the European Cup or European competition going to still exist next season? And then last night, Chelsea and Brighton, the news is filtering through. I still didn't know what to make of it. And tonight it was sort of like, right, this is the aftermath. I could sort of enjoy this, but not because of everything that's gone on. There was a lot of sort of mixed emotions, and I kind of so it was very difficult analyzing this game, and really sort of enjoying it. Really, it wasn't a great game anyway. I think regardless of whether or not any of this stuff had happened, I don't think I would have been able to take too much from this game. I do sort of feel, I do feel, just moving away from the European Super League for the moment, just in terms of Southampton, I do wonder where this team is at this moment in time, because if if it had been reversed, if the form that they've gone through in the second half of the season was the form had gone through in the first half of the season, and vice versa, would you know would the feelings be any different? Because I've not been a Southampton fan, but I'd made a video earlier in the season saying something along the lines of, they're the best team in the league right now, and I thought they were. I thought, in terms of Bednarek and Vestergaard, I've said it on multiple occasions, like a broken record at times. I thought they were best defensive pairing at that time. I thought Shea Adams came into his own. Theo Walcott had a new lease of life, and Hassan Hutel was one of the best managers in the league, and he just kicked on from after the second half of last season, but he's just fallen away. They've been ravaged by injuries. I think you have to take that into account, and I think I've probably said this before, that other teams that have suffered injuries have been afforded that excuse. I've heard people talking about Everton having so many injuries, and it's when I've heard them talking about Liverpool and how it's damaged the title the title defence, but nobody really has really afforded Southampton those excuses. Not that I've heard, but they've had so many injuries. They've been ravaged by injuries, and they've been, just trying to get through. I think to the end of the season. I don't think there's been sort of a lack of effort there. I don't think the players are not playing for Hasenhüttl. I don't think they're down tools, but I do think there was a little bit of a drop off, and I think that could probably be expected, from the performances in the first half of the season. I think it would have been very difficult to continue that. And I don't think anyone was really believing that they were going to win the league or finish in the top four, but I certainly believe that based on those performances that they were good enough to be in and around the Europa League positions, and fair play to them, they deserved it. But is where they are now an accurate reflection of where they are as a team? Is it just the injuries? Is it Hasenhüttl? What's going on? I'd love to hear from Southampton fans what they actually think about what's going on at that club at the moment. For me personally, it's a mixture of things. It's confidence. I think a lot of them are burned out. I think there's injuries. Danny Ings gone off again tonight with another injury. As I say, I think that changed the game. But it's difficult to say because really going back thinking about it, was it a drop off in the second half, or was it that Spurs are just too good? And fair play to Ryan Mason as well. That's difficult. Forced to retire, the horrific injury, which forced him to retire. He's only 29 years old, and whatever his future role is at Tottenham, he's tonight he's managed them. He's taken them to a 2-1 win, and that must be a proud moment for him. And fair play, because that must be really difficult to be forced into retirement. When you're in your 20s. That should be, you're in your prime. And so I think based on the second half performance, they probably deserve that. And he probably deserved that, really. But I don't know what the future holds for them. Strange decision earlier this week to sack Mourinho. I know Spurs have been in poor form, but why would you sack one of the most successful managers, regardless of his or Spurs' form? Why would you sack him with a cup final coming up, and he wins cup finals? I think he's lost, is it 2? I think he's only, maybe it's 2. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Not got the sort of stats in front of me. I'm sure it's 2. But he certainly doesn't lose League Cup finals. And if Spurs wanted to win want to win the first trophy since 2008, then surely you stand more chance with a more experienced manager in Mourinho, regardless of form and what you think of him, or I think of him, or whatever you think of his form and his time with Tottenham, they had a better chance surely than Ryan Mason going up against Pep Guardiola, who is regarded as a great coach. I have my feelings on Guardiola being regarded as the greatest of all time, but you can't deny that he's a great coach, and he doesn't lose League Cup finals. So it's going to be very interesting. I think this tonight will have given them confidence. But I still would favour Manchester City on Sunday. I don't see Spurs going into that game. They've got an opportunity. Anyone on the day, and I hate that saying, because of course anyone on their day can beat anyone. But I think Spurs have got enough quality in there. But it's which Spurs is going to turn up. Is it going to be the Spurs that turned up in the first half, or the Spurs that turned up in the second half? And make no mistake about it, the Spurs that turned up in the second half didn't play Southampton off the park. They got into the game and they probably just deserved the win. They've got quality. With the likes of if Bale is on it, he's won multiple Champions Leagues. He's still a top player. He's still got the pace. And when you've got the likes of Bale and Son and Moura, they have an opportunity. I don't see it happening. I don't see Ryan Mason and Tottenham getting to Wembley and beating Manchester City on Sunday. But you never know. But it was certainly interesting tonight, just sitting down and watching it in the aftermath of the whole European Super League fiasco, because you still didn't know what to think. There's still a lot of questions that need to be answered. There is a protest at Old Trafford on Saturday. at 3 o'clock. And for anyone that sees us, I would say, you don't have to be a Manchester United fan. We want to get the Glazers out, but it's not just about Manchester United and the Glazers. This is about football as a whole, as a community. And I think it's been great that over the last few days, since the announcement, that football fans have kind of put those rivalries aside, to say, this affects all of us. We're all in the same position, regardless of the size or whatever of our club. At the end of the day, it's the same sport that we're all watching the same sport as fans. All the players are playing the same sport, and everyone should have the same opportunity. So, if you want to come to Old Trafford on Saturday, I didn't organise it, but I've seen it on Twitter, I've seen it on social media. So there will be a protest. I don't know how many are going to turn up, but we've got to go. We've got to push to get the Glazers out, and we've just got to, we've got to push for change. And this, we have to push for change because that will benefit all of us. Change will benefit all of us. Football, sport should not be for the privileged few, for those of financial power. It should be for everyone. So tonight it's finished. Tottenham 2, Southampton 1. And on Saturday, as I say, there is a protest outside Old Trafford. Obviously, social distance, bring your masks. Want it to be peaceful, want it to be safe, but we also want to let them know that it is completely unacceptable. Football is not for the privileged few, it's for everyone. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon.